They came in all shapes and sizes, long and thin, round and aggressive, British, foreign, young, old, and that was only the visitors. Attendances over the 2 days of the NEC National Classic Motor Show were up 20% on last year at 28,000. As the modern car becomes more reliable, more efficient and more like any other car on the road, it appears interest in classic cars is growing.
The pompous thing to say is because modern cars are so boring, people come back to cars like this. They might not have been reliable, they might not have been waterproof, but they were so much fun. And most of us here have got at least one toy in the garage that we bring out on summer weekends.
It's a Jaguar XK120 and I restored the car the last 6 years, and this summer I come over to England to do the National XK Day, and it was a winning car. I won the first prize, and that's the reason why I'm here now at the moment.
It's a 1924 Cadillac sedan DeVille, 7-seat limo, V8, flathead, side valve. We've had the car approximately 6 months. The only thing we've had to do since I bought it was retrim it, because the gentleman only before me had it for 20 years and he wouldn't drive it. It came from a place in Aylesbury. The nice things about these, in the old days, the car were a bit of a darling to start, so they had these little primer chambers here. What you have to do is just put a spot of petrol in each chamber all the way around. Then the driver will sit in the car and he'll say to you, right, and each and every one of these valves you open up, the petrol drops down, and usually the car will start. If it doesn't start then you've got big trouble.
This is a 1954 RME, 1.5 litre saloon, which I've owned for about 2.5 years now. When I got it, the body had been restored, but the underside needed cleaning up, and I've basically stripped the car back to the bare chassis, painted all underneath. I've renewed all the suspension, the brakes, the steering gear, and also fitted a new engine.
We have got V8 pilots, and a friend that we know said, got a car in a garage, been in there for a few years, you might be interested. So Ginger went and had a look at it, and he was more than interested, and so we took it on. Everything was there, but some of it needed a lot of restoration work. So basically it's come apart, every single nut and bolt, everything's been apart and completely rebuilt, refurbed, pieces found that remade that needed it, and so complete sort of chassis up restoration.
Do you know the history of the car, where it was before?
Unfortunately no. We only know that it was been stored in a garage for about 10 years. It was taken as settlement of a bad debt, but we don't know when it was imported or unfortunately anything else about it. We met an Argentinian when we took it up to Osterley Park, and he confirmed for us that it was made in South America and that it was a 1936, and why it was right-hand drive, because from 1928 to 36 they drove on the right-hand side of the road.
The car is a Triumph 1020 Sport, which was manufactured in 1923. It was the first model that Triumph produced, and It come over to Belfast in 1923. It sat in a showroom for 1 year because the car was so expensive. In 1923, that car cost £430 new, and it sat in the showroom for 1 year until the original owner went in and bought it. And when he died 31 years ago, I got the car, I bought the car.
This is one of the cars we featured in the December issue of the magazine. This is an XK120 Jaguar, produced in 1948. Probably one of the most sensuous, probably one of the most beautiful cars Jaguar ever produced. They followed this up with the E-Type Jaguar, and they now brought out the new XK8 Jaguar, which has been a huge success in the modern car market. But I think this XK120 is a fantastic machine. It was a sports car beyond belief when it appeared at the Earls Court Motor Show in London. In the late 40s, and we featured it as one of the 5 fastest cars of the decade, and it really is a fantastic car to drive. Modern cars are very good. They're all the same these days. They become sort of like, I suppose, appliances. That's their problem. The fact that they're so good is almost their downfall. And people who want something a little bit more exciting are looking for older cars because they have a lot of character. I mean, some of that character is probably because they are a little bit, they require a little bit more maintenance, a little bit more care, and a little bit of looking after in comparison with modern cars, but they're very individualistic.